Topic of the week is information versus transformation. On Monday, I talked about why it's so important if you want to upgrade your career as a technical manager, if you want to earn that promotion, earn that raise, land that job, make more of an impact, climb the career ladder, do it purposefully, that consuming more information is like the definite way to career failure. The way to career success is to focus on transformation, high-level change, and to focus on taking actions to create that transformation, inspired actions, intelligent actions that are in line with your mission, that are in line with your purpose. And so if you didn't listen to the one from Monday, I definitely encourage you to listen to that as sort of like a foundation for what I'm talking about here. But if you already listened to it, or if what I'm saying is definitely resonating, you're like, yep, I'm stuck in information consumption mode. I am stuck in this. I just want more information. I want to read more articles. I want to go to more conferences. I want to talk to more people. I need more information before I can figure out what to do. But that getting out of that cycle is what's going to get. You have to get out of that cycle in order to move toward career transformation and walk the path toward your dream career. Intellectually that I need to do something different. Then that's what I'm going to talk about today. What I'm going to talk about today is, so basically to finish that thought, if this is resonating with you, you can listen to Mondays, but obviously it's not required. You're like, okay, just get to the point, right, Jen? So the point for today is the why. Why is it so hard to shift our focus from information to transformation? To shift our focus from consuming more information, reading more, talking to more people, getting more letters after our name? Why is it so hard to shift from that to transformation? Taking intelligent, inspired actions, boundary stretching actions. Why is it so hard? There's a number of reasons why that is. Because we know intellectually, yeah, sure, this makes sense, Jen, right? One of the things that I've learned, a little bit of an aside, but it's absolutely relevant here. One of the things that I've learned from coaching technical managers for the past almost 5 years now is that asking the question, does that make sense, is like, it's up here, right? It's like the outer layer of the onion, right? Yeah, sure, that makes sense. Like most of what I say makes sense to my clients. Like sometimes they're like, what? I don't understand. Can you say that another way? But that's actually really rare, right? Rob and I have gotten to the point where we've dialed in our communication to the point where it's like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I get it. But then it's like, okay, another layer is that helpful? Are you actually going to do this? On a scale of 1 to 10, how likely are you to follow this prescription, take this advice? Yeah, it makes sense, but no, I'm not going to do it. It makes sense, but I'm not sure if I agree with it. Right? It makes sense, but it's so hard to do. No, I'm not going to. Yeah, sure, it makes sense. I'm not going to do it though. Right? So that's like a test for you as well. Like as you're listening to me today, or watching the video, or listening to basically anyone else, right? To especially who's an expert. Like us, we have the proven strategies. We have the proven systems. We know how to get you there, right? We know how to take tech managers on the path toward their dream careers, right? To kind of check in and say, when you're listening to an expert or experts like us, are you just kind of staying up here at that outer layer of that? Yeah, that makes sense. Sure, that makes sense. Yeah, I get it. But really what's going to help you make that transformation, which is why I'm talking about this, is like, do you get it? Do you really get it? And are you going to apply what it is that we're saying to your work life, to your career? On a scale of 1 to 10, how likely are you to take what it is that we're saying? Yeah, I get it. And then boom, I'm going to take action and apply it. How likely are you? And if it's not a 10 or a 9, then you're not there yet. And that's actually the topic of the day, right? Because it's one thing to say, yeah, I get it. I get that transformation is what we're looking for, not just information. But yet you're not. Your career is not yet transformed. It's why you're listening. It's why you're watching. So the question is why? Why don't we do it? Why don't we just say, yeah, I get it. I understand. I even agree with it a little bit. And yet we don't actually apply it and take the actions that are going to be necessary to get us where we want to go. So there's a lot of reasons. There's so many reasons. I'm going to cover just like a few of the bigger ones, and you could probably come up with them on your own, and I definitely encourage you to do that. Why do we say, yeah, I get it, but yet we don't do it? It's like, and just to paint an analogy here, like to draw a parallel, like we know intellectually, for example, that eating well, eating lots of vegetables, for example, and working out several times a week, 4 or 5 times a week, is good for us. We get it. We trust the experts. And you know what? It makes a lot of sense. It makes sense. And like when we even have like a deeper level of that, like, yeah, I get it. Like I really understand. And I've seen the effects that this has had eating more vegetables and working out 4 to 5 times a week is going to be better for me, for my mind, body, spirit. And yet we don't do it. It's the same thing. You know that having, for example, boundary stretching conversations, sometimes uncomfortable conversations with people, whether it be your boss, whether it be a partner, like your husband or your wife, or somebody that you live with, having those conversations about your career and what this means and your dream and why you're not getting there, really getting out there and really deciding to go on the job market, not just being on the job market kind of, sort of, but really just like making that decision to do it. It's time to leave. You know intellectually that these are all the things that need to happen to get to that next level in your career, but yet you're not doing them. Why? Reason number 1, Psychology 101, motivation. You're not motivated enough yet. Because when we're motivated to do something, we do it. We absolutely do it. So, quick example, something that happens, unfortunately, way too often in our households, are, what are they called? The fire alarms, the smoke detector. Very, very sensitive in our home. And it's just like the littlest speck of dust will set it off. And of course, it's always 3 a.m., 4 a.m., not 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. So it wakes us up in the middle of the night. So when that smoke detector goes off, like if it were to go off right now, like it's loud. It's annoying. It's annoying as hell. Really. So I'd be motivated right now to just stop this video. I'll figure it out, right? Just stop this video, go and figure out how to stop the darn thing because it's annoying, right? So when we're motivated enough, we do it. So for example, another thing like that's on the negative side of things, right? We want to fix it. When we're motivated enough to fix it, oh yeah, we're going to go to it because that's annoying as hell. Not going to put up with that anymore. And then on the other side of it is like, it's so positive. It's so freaking awesome that of course I'm going to do it. Of course I'm going to get off my ass and do whatever's necessary to do it. Like say, for example, somebody in your family were to say, hey, we're taking the family to Italy. And you've never been to Italy before, but you've always wanted to go. And basically, this very kind family member who you love is handing you that trip to Italy on a silver platter. We're paying for the villa in Tuscany. We're paying for the airfare. You're like, yeah, let's make it happen, right? And you'll start to figure out like, oh, okay, this is going to require taking some time off from work. It's actually is going to require some money because, even though they're paying for this and that, we're going to have to pay for food and, oh wow, we're going to need to learn Italian. But you know what? Doesn't matter. I'm going to do this, right? Because this is freaking awesome. We did that, by the way, for a family, and it was awesome. And that's basically what a lot of our family members said. Like, oh man, 6-hour plane ride. Oh God. Oh, I don't know how to speak Italian, right? Coming up with all these excuses for like why they might not go. But like, man, no, once in a lifetime opportunity. Of course we're going to do that. We got to do that for our family last year, and it was awesome. So, like, if it's on the positive side of it, you're gonna do whatever it takes to get there. So, number one, check in on your motivation. That's one reason why you're not doing the things you know you need to do. It's because you're not motivated yet. You're not motivated to do it. So check in. How bad is it really? Really, what's not working in your career right now? And what consequences is that having at work and outside of work? Most of the time, we are not honest enough with ourselves about the answer to that question. And if you need somebody to hold you accountable and help you to figure out exactly what's not working in your career right now and exactly what consequences it's having, it's time to book a call with us, thepeoplestack.com/book. Because for those of you who have done a call with us, you know that the very first question that we ask, not like right as soon as we hop on, right? You know, we talk a little bit first. We're human, right? We get to know each other first. But after all of that, the very first question that we ask is what's not working in your career right now? And we help you get extreme clarity around that. Because if you don't have extreme clarity around that, you're not going to change. Transformation equals change, right? The overall message here is information versus transformation. You are not going to be committed, actually 100% committed to transformation if you are not 100% in tune with what's not working in your career right now and what consequences it's having on work and outside of work. The motivation's not there. And it's usually because you have not taken a hard enough look at the mirror about what's actually going on. We got to get honest with ourselves. We really do. So if you need some help with that, we can help. We can absolutely help you with that and get clarity around it. So, and then on the other side of it too, a lot of people don't have enough clarity around where they want to go and what your dream is. We talk about that on the calls too as well. But right, maybe you're like absolutely clear about what's not working in your career right now. And it's like, it's terrible, it's annoying, and you don't want to put up with it anymore. But you're like, well, what else is there, right? There's not enough to move towards. It would just be like, I want to get away from this thing, but what am I getting away from? Where am I moving towards? Like, what's your dream? That's a motivation as well. We need both sides of it. We need something to move away from. Oh my God, that's so annoying. I don't want this anymore, right? That gets us off our ass and gets us into motion. But then it's like, well, okay, if I do that, then what's going to happen? Is the freaking thing just going to start going off again? You got to have a vision for, okay, and I'm going to try to prevent this, and I'm going to create a life that is awesome. I'm going to walk the path toward the dream career. So if you don't have that long-term motivation, you're also not going to get there, right? And you're also not going to be motivated to get there. And if you need some help getting clarity on what your dream is, that's another reason to book a call with us. So that's reason number one, why we often don't take the actions that we know intellectually that are necessary to upgrade our tech careers. And oh, by the way, just in general, why we often don't do the things that are necessary, like eat more vegetables and work out 5 times a week, because the motivation's not there. Number two is because we see that we think it's too hard, right? We're like, I don't want to do that. That sounds too hard. I don't want to do that. I don't want to talk to a career coach. I don't want to eat vegetables. I don't want to, whatever it might be. I don't want to work out 5 times a week. I don't want to go to Italy. Oh my God, Italy? Oh, sounds great, but that's going to be too hard. People are going to speak a different language, and I don't really like Italian food anyway. Like, who wouldn't like Italian food? I don't know. But we tell ourselves these strange stories about like, I don't want to do this because it's going to be too hard. And there, it's like, it's related to the motivation, but it's about not really weighing out what is the cost of making this change? Like, how hard is it going to be to make this change? Versus, what is the cost of staying where we are right now. If you just keep doing what you're doing and staying stuck in your career right now, what's the cost of that? And that's related to what I was talking about earlier. What's not working? What's the consequences? But what we do, this is more fine-grained, right? It's not just about the motivation. It's like the motivation might be there, but there's like this internal struggle between, I can just stay right here, because if I stay right here, because all this other stuff is too hard. If you really take a look in the mirror and say, oh, wow, this is what's going to happen, then we start to realize the truth, which is that eating more vegetables, working out more, talking to a career coach, and taking the boundary stretching actions that are going to be necessary in order to really get unstuck from your career, there's some challenges there. Yeah, absolutely. But if you take a look compare that, like maybe it's this level of hard, and really take a look in the mirror and say, oh, wow, if I keep working 50 to 60 hour work weeks, it's going to affect my sleep. It's going to affect my relationship with my family. And there's all of that. And then my back is going to keep hurting me because I'm not going to have the time to work out. And oh, by the way, it's going to affect my earning potential. I'm only earning $150. I probably can be earning at least $175 right now, probably $200. That's $25,000 a year. That's what it's costing me. $25,000 a year, $50,000 a year. Oh, wow, that's $500K over 10 years. That's $1 million over 20 years. So you mean by the time that I retire, if I stay stuck, I'm losing millions of dollars? Not to mention the impact that I'm not having, that I'm not able to make because I haven't really dialed this in. If I stay stuck, that's what's going to happen. I'm just going to settle for a mediocre career. And I'm going to be relegated to the mediocre pile, relegated to the irrelevance pile. Oh, wow, it's time to fix it. Because it's going to be hard to fix it, for sure. There's no question, right? Change is something that requires a lot of us, right? But, and that's the cost, right? That it requires you to dig down deep and make that change. Yeah. I'm not going to lie, right? I'm not going to say, oh, it's easy peasy, 1, 2, 3, earn $200K a year. Wonderful. Talk for an hour and it's done. No, of course not. But you got to look at the other side of it. You got to look at this side of it. What's going to happen if you stay stuck right now? So that's reason number 2, is you have really not weighed out the consequences of staying stuck versus the consequences that you're telling in your mind of how hard it's going to be to fix it. And then reason number 3, that a lot of us don't do this, take the transformational action, the intelligent, inspired action that's going to be necessary. And let's get really specific here. The reason that most tech managers, or at least one of the main reasons beyond the motivation and the weighing the pros and the cons, the other main reason why most tech managers stay stuck and do not take the actions and do not make the changes that are necessary is because you don't know how. We're not just talking about eating more vegetables here. Right? Eating more vegetables is easy. What's a vegetable? Broccoli, green beans, cauliflower, carrots. Cool. I'll go to Wegmans and I'll buy some and I'll cook them up and that's cool. That's easy. Working out, that's pretty easy too. YouTube videos, there's gyms all around the world. You can figure that out on your own. But when it comes to how do I upgrade my career? How do I become the best leader and upgrade my leadership skills? How do I do that? It's not as easy as just eating more carrots. It's not as easy as just going to the gym 4 or 5 times a week. And even though that's hard, and we know exactly how to do that, we go to the grocery store, we buy some carrots, we cook them up, maybe put some, make a nice balsamic sauce on top of them, eat them up, and it's awesome. We know how to do that, but yet still we don't do the easy things. This stuff is less straightforward. This leadership stuff, how do I actually build my excellence as a leader? How do I actually evangelize my excellence as a leader in order to upgrade my career? There's so many moving parts, so many puzzle pieces, so many things that need to get calibrated. And guess what? The things that you need to calibrate are different than the things that the person sitting next to you need to calibrate. So that's why you talk to an expert. That's why you talk to us. Because we can help you identify what needs to get calibrated exactly for you. What's the path? And we have the proven systems and strategies to get there so we give you the how. So if you need help with the motivation, if you need help weighing the pros and cons of doing it, of making the decision to really make a career change versus not. If you need help figuring out how to do this, it's time to book a call with us, thepeoplestack.com/book. And the message of the day is you got to find the motivation, and that motivation to change and the reasons to change have to outweigh any of the, this is going to be hard. And you got to take a look at the long-term consequences of staying stuck. And then number two, you got to figure out how. You got to figure out how to do it. You got to have a definite action plan, because if you don't have that, then you're not going to do it because it's too hard, and we don't want to see you do that. So if you're ready to get unstuck, please book a call with us, thepeoplestack.com/book. So that is it for the day. Information versus transformation. Which one do you choose? Take care, everyone. Have a great rest of your week.